When you're striding through the vast open forests of Skyrim or blazing down a near pixel-perfect racetrack in Forza, there are times when you've got to admit video games have come a long, long way. However, even the latest AAA titles are rife with conventions and cliches designed to keep the player on rails. And you know what? Some of these cliches are okay. I mean, who's actually wanted to manually reload every single shotgun shell by tapping X over and over again? What's that? The people who play Armour? They're not real people. Still, some of these tropes and boundaries imposed in gaming really yank my taint. And with this in mind, I'm Jules for WhatCulture.com here with 10 dated video game cliches that need to die. Number 10. Chest-high walls. Whenever you're clunking down the hallways of a shooter like Gears of War, as soon as you see a wall or protrusion over 2 foot in height, you know you're about to enter a firefight. In theory, getting into said bullet arguments is the chunk of most third-person shooters, but it still breaks the immersion somewhat when you spy a load of crates laid out in an order that no sane being would stack them. Now, this isn't saying that we should get rid of mid-section safe havens altogether, but it's the variety of cover that we'd like to see increase. It's like I say in my well-known poem. If it's all chest high, then bye-bye from this guy. But if the cover be varied and logical, then something, yes please. Number 9. Not being able to pick up enemy weapons. There is nothing more frustrating than coming across an enemy wielding a super sweet weapon only to blast his face off and not be able to pick said tasty body inverter up. For example, some dev made the decision that instead of being able to wield this sweet katana in Call of Duty World at War, that we'd love to just stick with our boring old pistol. Well, to quote a now famous president,
absolutely wrong.
Now, we're not asking for programmers to design things like interactive wallets with pictures of their kids for us to sift through, but not being able to pick up weapons we've literally just seen them using 2 face-having seconds ago is ridiculous. Number 8. Boring collectathons. Side missions can arguably offer more pleasure than a game's main quest, granted that they're done with the right amount of creativity, of course. They give the player a sense of freedom that allows them to feel like, hey, I'm actually living in this world, running errands and helping out good, honest folk. However, if that side quest is, I don't know, shoot 200 pigeons in GTA 4, for example, then that's just about as appealing as doing your taxes in a house that's on fire. Now, I'm not saying that all collectathons are bad, but if they're more tacked on than Trump's hair, then I'm sorry, Mr. Wise Wizard, you're gonna need to find some other gullible, yet ruggedly handsome fool to find those 450 manticore testicles. Number 7. Unskippable cutscenes. Yeah, I bet you wish you could skip this, right? Well, you can't. Just gonna have to sit here and watch it all. No skipping. No. Ben, no. No! Number 6. Escort missions. I know, there's pretty much no way that this cliche will die, as it's been shoehorned into more titles than I've had dinners for 2 for 1s. But god van damn are these type of missions frustrating. From your partner AI being 9 times out of 10 less effective on the battlefield than a painted wooden duck, to the fact that enemies seem to actively ignore the hero in order to off their little buddy. It's a chore on all levels. And it's testament to the fact that I can really only point out 2 times where this hasn't been like walking on hot coals, in the form of Ellie and Elizabeth, which says it all about this reoccurring trope. Number 5. Not being able to swim. So, you're Billy Badass, a mean gunning, quip-spewing, walking man mountain. Nothing's gonna keep you down, nothing's gonna give you up. Except maybe water. Now, in some cases, you might be able to justify a protagonist's fear of the wet stuff, like John Marston, for example, as he's a cowboy in the desert with little need to know how to swim. But there are so many others with about as much buoyancy as a soggy breakfast wheat bar that it boggles the mind. It's just another form of moving the player towards where the action is, and as everyone who knows me can say, nobody puts baby in a corner. Or in this case, river. Number 4. Invisible walls. We all know that games can't be infinitely massive and there has to be some limitations on where the player can go, but invisible walls are the worst and most lazy way of blocking gamers in. I can accept a caved-in hallway or even a tree as a reason to keep you off the non-programmed path, but invisible walls feel like the most nonchalant middle finger in existence. Nothing makes the idea of space feel infinitely smaller than when you can almost see what's out there, only to be blocked like an invisible version of this guy from Ocarina of Time. Side note, f*** this guy. Number 3. Red barrels. Now, see, I'm torn in 2 on this one. On the one hand, I love blowing up enemies drawn to the alluring light of the red barrel or equally obvious explosive. But on the other, I have to state that if I were one of these low-paid grunts, then I'd be asking some serious questions to my employers. It would probably go something like this.
You want me to patrol what area?
The one with the 30 red barrels all stacked together and would only take one bullet to create a chasm greater than the poverty gap? Yeah, that's what I thought you said. I just wanted you to hear yourself saying that. Well, you know what? I quit. Right. Yep, okay, yeah, I did forget that we're on Mars and I have no way home. Cool, see you at the pub. Number 2, lack of support. In terms of gameplay, being told to clear out a room of enemies by yourself makes sense in establishing your character as the bad mama jammer who takes no guff. However, from a narrative perspective, isn't it a bit weird that your team is just like, go on then, off you pop, we'll meet you on the other side for some bro-heavy cutscene action? I mean, at least try to make them look like they're helping, because firing P-bullets still makes more sense than them sitting by the sidelines. Or better yet, have a reason for why I'm the only one able to take on this entire base hand solo. And number 1, invincible doors. Doors. Who'd have thought that the one thing to bring rampaging gamers to a grinding halt everywhere would be a simple bit of carpentry? Despite our inventory of C4, rocket launchers, plasma rifles and rainbow arse lasers, we still have to figure out how to unlock or even completely bypass these bastards. Honestly, the amount of times we've come across a door barely held on by its hinges only to be told it's impossible to penetrate makes me think we should craft all future armors out of them. It's not the level 100 mega dungeon boss monsters that will be spoken of as the true enemies in gaming, but the simple door. Motherfucking doors. And that's our list. Got any more try-hard tropes that need to bite the big one? Well, let us know about them in the comments section below. And if you want to get past my invisible wall, then come chat to me here or on my personal Twitter, RetroJ with a 0. As always, I've been Jules for WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.